Good afternoon, students. Okay, now continue with the enzyme catalysis. This is also one of the important type of catalysis. Yesterday we discussed catalysis. What is catalysis? Types of catalysis. Okay, here yesterday we discussed up to heterogeneous catalysis and homogeneous catalysis. And here in continuation we discuss about the one more important topic, enzyme catalysis. Okay, here already we know about the enzymes. Enzymes are the one of the important biomolecules and involves in various physiological activities inside the human body. Okay, these are the nitrogen containing organic molecules. These are the nitrogen containing organic molecules and produced from living organism like plants and animals. The chemical substances which are having nitrogen and produced from living organism, those are simply considered as enzymes. Okay, these are the nitrogen containing organic molecule which are produced from the living organism like plants and animals, we called as enzymes. These are the important active bioorganic molecule inside the human body. These are mainly involved in various physiological activities like digestion, synthesis of RNA, synthesis of DNA, all those are it is involved in the process of those physiological activities. These are the protein substances. Enzymes are protein substances and completely dissolved in water and form the colloidal solution. And these are involved in many types of chemical reactions inside the human body. Okay, that's why. And one more thing. Before the 1969, we can't prepare the enzymes in laboratory. But after the 1969, scientists prepared the first synthetic enzyme is ribonuclease. This ribonuclease inhibits the function of the RNA. And here, these are mainly produced from the cells. That's why these are simply called as enzymes are also called as biocatalysts. These are also called as biocatalysts. This catalysis is also called as any biochemical reaction. If any biochemical reaction proceeds through biocatalyst, that catalysis we called as biocatalysis. We called as biocatalysis. See that here important biocatalysis reactions. Important catalysis reactions. Here daily we are eating food through mouth. The saliva, tongue contains saliva. The saliva contains amylase. AAC instead of AGE, you write AAC. Most of the enzymes are ended with the AAC. Amylase. This saliva converts starch into glucose. For example, if you touch the sugar, your tongue will touch the sugar. That feel sweet in nature. Why? When we touch the sugar, our tongue will touch the sugar, the sugar converts into glucose and fructose. That's why okay, sugar taste is sweet in taste. Sugar is sweet in taste. Okay, here this is the one amylase, one of the important example. Amylase converts starch into glucose. Urease enzyme converts urea. It decomposes urea into ammonia. Urease enzyme, okay, it decomposes urea into ammonia. What is the formula of ammonia and carbon dioxide here? What is the formula of urea? NH2 C double bond NH2. Urease decomposes urea into ammonia and carbon dioxide. Ammonia and carbon dioxide. And one more enzyme is there, lactobacilli enzyme. Lactobacilli. This lactobacilli enzyme it converts milk into curd. It converts milk into curd. Okay, we know about that one. We are taking the milk. Okay, add little bit amount of curd. We'll get the more and more curd. Okay, it requires nearly 8 hours for the conversion of milk into curd. Okay, here lactobacilli enzyme is used. And here pepsin enzyme, pepsin and trypsin. This both converts okay proteins into amino acids or peptides, not polypeptides, peptides. These proteins convert into amino acid or peptides in the presence of pepsin and trypsin. Okay, here in continuation we will see so many examples, so many are there. All the source for enzyme is yeast. Maximum yeast or malt, okay, or cell. These are the main sources of enzymes. Okay, here preparation of ethyl alcohol from starch. Preparation of ethyl alcohol from starch. See from starch. What is the formula of starch? C6H10O5 taken n times. This is the formula of starch. Okay, just add the water to starch. Okay, it involves in fermentation process. What is the meaning of fermentation? The conversion of large carbohydrate into or large carbon molecule into small carbon molecule in the presence of biocatalyst. We call fermentation. What is the meaning of fermentation? The conversion of large organic molecule into small organic molecule, complex organic molecule into simple organic molecule in the presence of biocatalyst. We call as fermentation. Okay, here starch undergoes fermentation in the presence of enzymes, forms ethyl alcohol. Okay, starch contain number of carbon atom. Ethyl alcohol contain only 2 carbon atoms. That is the one best example for the fermentation. Preparation of ethyl alcohol from the starch is the best example for the fermentation. Here, starch add water, Dastase enzyme. in the presence of diastase enzyme. Okay, here we get sucrose or maltose. Okay, here we get the maltose C12H22O11. Maltose or sucrose. Maltose or sucrose. Okay, it may be sucrose or it may be maltose. Formula same. Okay, if it is sucrose, this is the first step, step 1. Step 2. If it is sucrose, C12H22O11. If it is sucrose, okay, here we use invertase enzyme. If it is sucrose, here we use invertase enzyme. In the presence of invertase enzyme, sucrose undergoes fermentation and hydrolysis and form the C6H12O6. Okay, C6H12O6. One is glucose and other one is fructose. If you use the maltose, same reaction. Maltose formula also same. It also undergoes hydrolysis in the presence of maltase enzyme. Okay, the source for this one is malt. The source for diastase is yeast. Okay, maltose and forms what? Glucose and fructose. Okay, in continuation, we'll see the third step. Okay, in continuation, see the third step. Glucose or fructose, formula same. Glucose or fructose. Okay, undergoes again hydrolysis in the presence of zymase enzyme. What happens here? Forms ethyl alcohol by the liberation of carbon dioxide. See, it contains number of carbon atoms. Starch contain number of carbon atoms, but here ethyl alcohol contain only 2 carbon atoms. This is called fermentation. During this fermentation reaction, conversion of starch into sucrose or maltose, we use diastase enzyme. Conversion of sucrose or maltose into glucose and fructose, okay, we use invertase or maltase. Okay, the conversion of glucose into ethyl alcohol. Okay, conversion of glucose into ethyl alcohol. We used what we used? Okay, here zymase enzyme. We use the zymase enzyme. Okay, here in continuation we see the one more preparation of ethyl alcohol from sucrose. It is also same, but I will give in detail. This is also one of the biocatalysis reaction. Preparation of ethyl alcohol from sucrose. Same. Sucrose means here C12H22O11. Sucrose. This is sugarcane juice. The sugarcane juice contains sucrose. Okay, add little bit amount of yeast and water. Okay, here yeast produces invertase enzyme. In the presence of invertase enzyme, sucrose undergoes cleavage and forms C6H12O6. This we call as glucose. is we called as fructose. Fructose. Here we use the invertase. Okay, this we call sucrose. Sometimes we call inversion sugar. What is the inversion sugar? What is the meaning of inversion sugar? Sucrose. Actually, sucrose has dextrose. When it converting into glucose and fructose, it shows lever rotation. The rotation will be changed. That's why this is we called inversion of sugar, inversion sucrose solution. Okay, here these are the best example for the enzymatic catalysis. Urease, okay, trypsin, amylase, all those are the amylase. Okay, here what we call zymase, all those are the best example for the this enzymatic catalysis. Okay, in continuation we'll see the characteristics of enzyme catalysis or enzymes. Okay, they may ask 2 mark question or 3 marks question. Characteristics of enzyme catalysis or enzymes. Okay, here we have the nearly 6 characteristics are there. Okay, 6 characteristics are there here. 1. Okay, enzymes are highly active. We'll see. I will explain continuation. That means we call highly efficient. Highly active or highly efficient. And all enzymatic reactions are highly specific. Okay, here all enzymatic reactions observed at optimum temperature. We'll see in continuation what is the meaning of optimum temperature. Okay, all enzymatic reactions perfectly observed at optimum pH value. Already we know about the pH value. We studied about the pH. Power of hydrogen ion. We'll see in continuation what is the pH. Okay, presence of okay, catalyst. Presence of catalyst. Okay, or ions. Okay, next, presence of okay, poisons, catalytic poisons. Okay, these are the important characteristics of enzymes. Let's see. Enzymatic reactions are highly efficient. All enzymes are highly efficient. Okay, just I will take down one example. I wanted to explain about the one example here. You take 1000 liters of milk, add only 100 grams of curd. Then after 8 hours, 1000 liters of milk converting into curd. That means one enzyme involves in millions of chemical reactions. That's why enzymatic reactions all are efficient. Enzymes, that's why all are perfect and okay here efficient. We mention like that. One enzyme will finish millions of reactions. Okay, in continuation, second, highly specific means one enzyme involved in one type of chemical reaction. Okay, that particular enzyme not involved in other chemical reaction. For example, trypsin Okay, trypsin converts proteins into peptides or amino acids. Okay, but it not involved in the other chemical reaction. Amylase, it converts sucrose into or starch into glucose and fructose. Amylase is not involved in other chemical reaction. Simple example. Here we have the invertage. Next, in continuation of this reaction, zymase enzyme was used. And form the ethyl alcohol. See here, from fructose or glucose to ethyl alcohol, we used zymase enzyme. Okay, here from sucrose to glucose, we used here invertase enzyme. Invertase enzyme not involved in conversion of fructose or glucose into ethyl alcohol. Zymase not involved conversion of sucrose into the glucose. Okay, it is involved in this reaction, this involved in here only. That's why all enzymatic reactions highly specific, more efficient and more specific. Okay, optimum temperature. Enzyme works at particular temperature. That particular temperature we call as optimum temperature. Enzymes work efficient at that particular temperature. That particular temperature we call as optimum temperature. For example, you take the boiled milk, add curd. You take the normal heat milk, add curd. Which converts into curd? Normal hot milk convert into curd, not the boiled milk. Why? Okay, if you add enzyme to boiled milk, the enzyme undergoes destruction. There is no formation of the compound. Okay, it requires perfect temperature. That temperature only we call as optimum temperature. Okay, here the optimum temperature is 298 Kelvin to 310 Kelvin. Human body temperature. What is the human body temperature? Okay, 37 degrees centigrade is the human body degree centigrade, 37 degrees centigrade. Okay, 98.6 Fahrenheit, Kelvin 310. Okay, that's why human body contains more and more enzymes and efficiently works inside the human body. Human body temperature is 310 Kelvin temperature. That's why enzymes perfectly works in human body. Okay, I say working phenomena of enzymes. Okay, hot milk and cold normal hot milk. Normal hot milk gives curd, but not the boiled milk. Okay, that is one of the best example for the enzyme. The working function of enzyme should be at optimum temperature. Next, optimum pH. Optimum pH should maintain the pH. Otherwise the enzyme will destruct. That's why when we are taking diet, we are using all types of materials, soap, base, salt. Okay, all these materials we are using. Why? Okay, the pH will be fixed inside the human body. That fixing pH or enzymes works perfectly at particular pH. That particular pH we call as optimum pH. Here optimum pH is 5 to 7. What is the meaning of pH? pH means power of hydrogen ion. How we calculate the pH? We calculate pH by using this principle. pH is equal to minus log concentration of H plus ion. Already this topic is present in first PUC in equilibrium. We saw the number of problems. Okay, here the optimum pH should be 5 to 7. Otherwise, the function of enzyme, the efficient nature of enzyme decreases. That is called as optimum pH value. Okay, presence of catalysts or ions. For example, amylase enzyme is there. Amylase enzyme, it is an enzyme. It works properly. But in presence of sodium ions, it works efficiently. Okay, in the absence of sodium ions, it works properly. In the presence of sodium ion, it works efficiently. Those are simply considered as a catalyst. These are catalysts. Those are increasing the stability of they are increasing the activity of catalysts. Okay, those ions are simply considered as a coenzymes. Inside the human body, cobalt plus 2, Mg plus 2, Na plus K plus copper plus 2. All these ions increase the activity of human body. Increase the activity of enzymes. Such enzymes we called as catalytic activators. These are called catalytic activators or coenzymes. Catalytic activators are coenzymes. Okay, in continuation we will see the presence of catalytic poisons. If human body contains any poisonous material, those are decreasing the efficient nature of reactivity of the enzymes. Then all physiological activities work slowly. Suppose simple example, if coronavirus present, that is one of the poisonous material. Foreign substance. In presence of the foreign substance, the reactivity of enzyme decreases. Then all physiological activities works very slowly. That poisonous material we called as catalytic poison. Suppose for example, first synthesized synthetic enzyme in 1969 is ribonuclease. This inhibits the function of RNA. Ribonuclease enzyme inhibits the function of RNA. Okay, here. Then ribonuclease is called catalytic poison. This is some simple catalytic poison. It is enzyme but decreases not. That's why we call it catalytic poison. So many are there. Digestive system. If digestive system not works properly, that means here your body has some amount of poisons. That means enzymes are not reactive. This is the relation between enzymes and activity of those physiological activities. This is about the characteristics. These are the characteristics of enzymes. In examination point of view, they may ask question. One mark question they may ask depth. 2 marks or 3 marks. What are the factors affecting on, or what are the characteristics of enzymes? Factors affecting on means optimum temperature, optimum pH, presence of catalyst, catalytic poisons. Characteristics of enzyme catalysis or enzymes means highly active or highly efficient, highly specific, and optimum temperature, works at optimum temperature. Effectively works at and effectively and efficiently works at optimum temperature. Okay, effectively or efficiently works at optimum pH. In presence of catalysts or ions, okay, catalytic activators, it works perfectly, actively, efficiently, energetically. And presence of catalytic poisons decreases the energy of human body. That means enzyme not works properly. Okay, this is about the one simple topic, biocatalysis. Tomorrow we will continue with this catalysis. Okay, absorption theory is there. Theory of heterogeneous catalysis is there. Theory of biocatalysis is there. Okay, I will explain those two topics. After that, I will move into the colloidal solutions. Okay, it is also one of the biggest topic, important topic. Compulsory long questions on this chapter. Okay, and this topic is also present in biocatalysts or enzymes present in biomolecules also. From that they may ask question, or from physical chemistry also they may ask question. Two possibilities are there. This is one of the important